Hello, Roosevelt. I'm Mrs. Avery, your principal.
And I'm Mrs. Schaefer, your Family Resource Coordinator.
How are you doing today, Mrs. Schaefer?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking.
I'm kind of excited.
What are you excited about?
Well, I hear things are changing up a little bit and some students are going to be returning to the building.
They are very soon. Should we talk about that today?
I think we should.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Mrs. Schaefer. For our students who are returning, we think there's some important things that you need to know about returning. A lot of things are the same, but there's also some differences too. Let's start by talking about what's the same here at Roosevelt, Mrs. Schaefer.
All right, I like that idea. I'm the same, Mrs. Aber's the same, and a lot of the teachers are the same.
The staff is the same. You'll see our same secretary, Mrs. Kidd in the library, the lunch staff, PE, things like that. Every person you see will be similar to what you remember from the past. Also, students, you're the same. This is a place for students, and you'll be coming back, and we'll see you here too.
Do we still have cubbies in the classrooms?
We do still have cubbies in the classroom. Each child will have his or her own cubby in the classroom.
What about books? Are the books the same?
The books are the same.
What about our families?
Our families are the same. We at Roosevelt are a family, and also all of our families are here too.
And you know what else is the same about those families? Hopefully, your contagious smiles, because we want to see those smiles again.
And it's easy to tell if someone's smiling under their mask, right, Mrs. Schaefer?
I agree. I can tell you're smiling at me right now because you have a little crinkle right there.
I do. Also, our teaching and learning is the same. You're here to learn, and we're here to teach, and we can't wait to do that with you.
Let's talk about what's different.
I think we should take some time showing them some pictures and maybe a video of some things to expect that are a little bit different. Let's start with arrival, Mrs. Schaefer.
All right, arrival. Does that mean when I get here or when I leave?
Arrival is when you come, and that's first thing in the morning. Our arrival begins now at 8:45 in the morning. When you get here, you will go directly to your classroom or to the cafeteria for breakfast. Again, that's 8:45 and not a minute before.
So that's a little different than last year. So 8:45, 15 minutes later than that 8:30 time of last year.
There will be no waiting in the gym for classes to start.
That's something that's different.
Also, our car line will go through the car line, and students will enter through the main office door, and walkers will enter through the back of the building.
So the back door is by the playground.
Yes, our kindergarten, first and second graders will use that door number 10 by the playground, and grades 3, 4, and 5 will use the door by the stairs by Lincoln.
Okay,
You got that?
I got that.
Oh, I forgot to say, if you're late or here after 9 o'clock, you have to come to the main office, just like the past.
That is good to know.
Here's something else to expect that's different. We have some safety signs up in our building now. These signs will tell you reminders to wear your mask, wash your hands, but also which side of the hallway to walk on.
And those signs are there to keep all of us safe.
Let's talk about masks, Mrs. Schaefer.
I think it's a good time to talk about masks.
We are going to wear a mask at all times throughout the day, with the exception of gym class and when you're eating lunch.
Should we maybe talk about the right way to wear a mask?
Let's do that, Mrs. Schaefer.
All right, so right or wrong?
That's incorrect. Your mask needs to always cover your nose and your chin.
So, right?
A little better, but not quite, Mrs. Schaefer.
You sure? It's
Absolutely.
covering my nose right here.
Oh, it needs to cover on top of your nose. Now, is Mrs. Schaefer wearing it correctly? She sure is. Oh, students, I have something exciting to tell you. We've ordered lanyards to help keep your masks near and dear throughout the day. The lanyards will attach to your straps, so when you take your mask off to eat, it'll just hang right down like a necklace or like our ID tags.
Oh,
That's
I
cool.
love that idea. And it will always be with me, and I don't have to worry if I set it down that it might get dropped on the floor or kicked somewhere.
Exactly. And students, we ask that you have a couple extra masks in your cubbies and one extra in your book bag in case you need a change throughout the day.
That's a great idea.
Oh, Mrs. Schaefer, have you seen those masks that have like the circle vent on them?
Yes.
We can't wear those here at Roosevelt.
We can't. How
No.
come? It's a mask. What if I wear one of those and it covers my mouth and my nose?
But it also brings the air in and out, so that's not an acceptable mask here at Lakewood City Schools.
Okay.
Okay,
That's good.
good. Let's also talk about hand washing. We've always done that here at Roosevelt, but we're going to do that a little bit more often than we're used to.
And we're going to do that because it's very important to keep yourself healthy and everyone else around you healthy.
So we'll have you wash your hands when you arrive, before you eat, before you go select books in the library, and other times throughout the day.
And of course, you're always going to wash your hands after you use the bathroom.
Absolutely. We'll also have sanitizer at sanitizing stations in your classroom and in common areas of the building.
And if you don't know where the sanitizer is, just ask your teacher or any of us, and we'll point you to the nearest sanitizer.
Let's talk for a moment about classrooms and social distancing, Mrs. Schaefer.
I think that's important.
In our classrooms, you'll notice that our desks are set up to provide 6 feet of space between students who are here on a given day during our partial return, and they will be set up for 3 feet space during our full return.
Is there a way that I could check to see if I'm social distancing from someone?
Well, you and I could check together.
Want to show?
Let's do it. Put your arms out. And if both of our arms don't touch, we're about 6 feet apart.
So we are social distance right now.
Great work, Mrs. Schaefer. Let's talk about water fountains. We have water fountains in our classrooms, and we also have them throughout the building, but they're going to be turned off while you're here. But don't worry, you can bring a water bottle with you and refill it at any of our water filling stations throughout the building, in your classroom or a new special one in the cafeteria.
So the important thing there is you still get to drink your water, but you need to bring a water bottle to fill it up.
Make sure your name's on it.
Very important.
Speaking of water, let's also talk about eating for a minute, Mrs. Schaefer.
Are we going to be eating lunch here at the school?
Absolutely, we will still offer breakfast and lunch on a daily basis, but what's going to be different is only one grade level will eat at a time, and students will have assigned seats at least 6 feet apart from one another.
So you'll still be in the lunchroom with your class, but you're going to be spread out.
That is true, and in between each class, we'll be washing the tables.
And washing your hands.
Of course. So we're kind of getting towards the end of the day. We talked about arrival, which is coming into school. Now let's talk about dismissal, which is
When we leave the school.
right. Most important thing to know is this mask needs to stay on through dismissal until you get into your car or you're off of our campus. So keep that mask on throughout our whole dismissal process. And everything else is pretty much the same. Your kindergarten and first grade, you'll leave through the playground door. Second and third, the cafeteria door, number 10. And fourth and fifth, that stairwell, door number 11. All of that will remain the same. We just ask parents and family members, please be patient with us, as we do have a new inside process, which includes waiting in the classrooms as opposed to the gym.
And if you want to make our jobs a little bit easier, kids, please remember to ask your mom and dad the night before, am I a walker or am I a car rider?
Absolutely. That would be very helpful. Okay, one last piece of information here. We have a little video to share. We want to talk a little bit about hallways and stairwells. All of our hallways are more than 6 feet apart, so we ask that you stay 6 feet apart in the hallway and stay always to the right. Sometimes going down a stairwell can be a little bit trickier, and we ask when a whole class is going down that you wait at the bottom until that whole class passes.
Our video will help you understand that.
And we'll also show you, if it's just 1 or 2 people passing, how to do that safely on a stairwell as well. Well, Mrs. Schaefer, I think we've covered all the things that are the same and different here. We've talked about what it's like to be here at school, but I also want to take a minute for a very important healthy reminder about when to stay home from school. Students and parents, it's important that you do a daily temperature check in the morning, and if your child is over 100.4 degrees, he or she needs to stay home and be fever-free without medication for 24 hours. In addition, make sure you don't have a sore throat or other signs of illness, like a cough, diarrhea, headache, runny or congested nose, vomiting, or body aches. If you have those, you may come back to school when you are symptom-free without medicine for 24 hours.
And I guess best practice, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, babysitter, if you're not sure, call the office and we'll let you know if one of your symptoms means you should stay home or hey, it's okay to come in.
Great idea, Mrs. Schaefer.
Thank you. I know we're all very excited to see our friends and to have class with our friends again and just to renew some friendships. And speaking of friends and friendship, this week's house is the House of Amistad.
Yes, and Amistad is our red house, and red means friendship. Stay tuned for a video from our House of Amistad staff.
And as always, be the best version of yourself.
Hi, friends. I'm so happy to see you. I've missed you so much. Speaking of friends, the House of Amistad, or the Red House of Amistad. And red is the color chosen for us because if you think about a heart and the color red, we feel a lot of love in our heart when we have a lot of friends. And we're the Red House of Friendship, Team Amistad.
And red also represents the red ring of our Olympic rings, uniting all of Roosevelt with our different colors. We represent the continent of North and South America. And in North America, we speak English. In South America, they speak Spanish. And Amistad means friendship in Spanish.
Yep. The motto for our house is the way to have a friend is to be one. And we live by that at Amistad.
And so in order to be a good friend, it might be a little bit harder using social distancing because people are all going to need their 6 feet of personal space. But one way that we could show what a good friend we are is to give air hugs or air high fives so that we can encourage our friends to keep doing great things.
And another way to be a good friend is to tell your friend a joke. You can use your words to make others feel good. You can use kind words and give a compliment to your friends. We can still hear you when you're social distancing.
What great ideas. Team Amistad.
Team Amistad.